What is up, guys? Good morning. Welcome to Breakfast with the Brand. I am your host, Junior Ray Frederick, representing the 758. Before we get into the show, you all already know, put some flames in the chat. And of course, let us know where you're listening in from. I see we have Coach Bobby Jackson. Good morning. Good morning to you. Guys, how are you doing? It is an absolutely lovely day in the 758. We're about to get into it. But before we do, let's do an energy check. What is the energy in the room? So if your energy is at a 10, put some flames in the chat. I see we have the flames. I see we have the explosions coming in. So good morning. Good morning. I see we have Tasha, the powerhouse Johnson. New York in the building. Tasha, shout out to you. I see Maurice. Maurice is that's Singapore. Singapore in the building. New York in the building. Charmaine, that's Texas. Put some flames in the chat. Listen, guys, today we're going to be talking about some very, very interesting things. So what I need everybody to do is number one, get your writing instrument, get your paper, and definitely get your questions. I'm about to bring Shaan on. Let's see, is Mr. Rice? Is Mr. Rice backstage? Mr. Rice, how's New York?
Yes, absolutely phenomenal. Yes, sir. I am in the building, man. I be biting at the bit too. I be like, oh my God, what's going on? I don't know. How did I not become the host? I don't know what happened, right? I thought I was
I don't
the
know.
host. And then Junior Ray Frederick comes on. He says, I am your host. Welcome to Bert. I said, oh, okay. I'm no longer the host. Okay, it's okay. I'll
2022.
be the coach. I'll be the coach. You be the
2022.
host.
2022, sir. 2022.
It's okay. I'm
2022.
comfortable. I'm comfortable with
Yes, sir.
change. I'm comfortable with change, guys. You got to be adaptable, right? Listen, as a leader, your leadership will be usurped at times, right? So get ready for it. Your team will politely slide you to the side at times. This is one of those moments. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. Good
Yes,
morning, man. I'm
sir.
ready to go. How you doing, man?
Yes, sir. I am. You already know. I am absolutely phenomenal. Like whenever I'm up, and I could see all of these amazing people in the chat here, I feel absolutely phenomenal.
Good.
Um, I went to my backyard. I got my tea. I got my water. So I'm ready to go. So I'm ready to go. Yes, sir.
Now, listen, guys, put some flames in the chat if you hate this guy sometimes, right?
What did I do? What did I do?
If you got to go to the store to get tea, put something in the chat to let him know that everybody doesn't have the luxury, because that's what it is. It's a luxury to go in the backyard and grab tea. That's,
All
that's,
right.
that's a little interesting how you said that, right?
Let me clarify. I was hoping you didn't catch that, but let me clarify, right? Let
Please
me
do.
clarify. I do go to the store and I do get tea sometimes, but sometimes I
Oh,
just yeah, I get sometimes, but sometimes I just grab it. It's a lot more convenient than going to the
sure
store,
must
right?
be nice.
Yeah,
Sure must be nice. All
that's
right.
right. That's right.
Listen, we got all these entrepreneurs on the call trying to grind out and hustle and build businesses so they can go out in the backyard and grab some tea.
Oh yeah.
Mr.
It
Junior Ray
reminds
Frederick
me.
was when he was born, he had tea, mangoes, and stuff like that in the backyard. Unbelievable. Let's
You
go.
know
But
what?
let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a
Okay.
question.
All right. Uh huh.
Since you seem to be in heaven now
Yes. Uh huh.
on earth, right? Sandy beaches, the 758 where it stays great, right?
Uh
Nothing
huh.
but fun in the sun, mangoes in the
Right.
backyard, tea in the backyard. Since you've got that whole 360 of like living in luxury from the door,
Yes.
what drives you
What
to be
drives
of
me?
assistance? Yes, what drives you in this business to want to be of assistance to other people? Because and the
Mhm.
reason I'm gonna give you some context. The reason why I ask is because most people, at least in the U.S., are trying to get some kind of economic stability and freedom so that they can live in a situation like the one you're in all day. So
Right.
that can't be your drive. There must be a different drive. What is your drive, sir?
Man, that's a phenomenal question, Chat. I don't think anybody has really asked me that directly. Definitely not live. I, I asked myself that question, right? One, I know it's not definitely not money. That's not my thing. Like I've never really had problems with money. Like When I say that, I mean meaning like if I need something, it's there. It just comes. I attract it, so I've never really had that sort of problem. So the way I answer that is I'll say I get the most fulfillment when I see our coaches and when I see other people get results.
Mm.
Now I'm a high, for those of you who know the chess test, I'm a high C. If you know what a high C, I'm a 99 C. So like I'm like the ultimate introvert, right? I'm also a high D. So I'm high, if you know high C's and high D's, then we know we're not really that sort of people. But I have an S, and my S is for people who get results. When I see our coaches, when I see them getting results, when I see them achieving their goals, my I think my purpose is to become my best self and just assist other people to do the same. So I think that would be my driving force. So that's
All
what
right.
my S is. That's what my S is. It's
I
my S
just
is
had
with
to
the people,
check.
Sean.
I just had to
My S
check.
is
I
with
just
the
had to
people.
check. Make sure you're not, you know what I mean? Like, what's going on? I got to find out because I want to, we want Mr. Frederick to be here for a nice amount
Yes,
of
yes, of
time.
course,
You know
of
what I mean?
course.
Like, what's going on? It seems like you already in heaven, so I don't need you to defect. You can't. You know what I mean?
Nah, my S is with the people, man. Honestly, that's
Okay.
just where it is. The results, seeing
Very
people
good.
get results. So
Very
that's what
good.
drives me.
That's what it is. All right. Phenomenal. Phenomenal. So, the guys,
It's
that was
good.
kind of like a bait and switch. Right. So let me say something else. Like when you hear me talk, you always hear me say that I don't script. Everything is organic, authentic. I might say some things that sometimes that might be a little bit complex or compelling or even alarming. Right. So that was just one of those moments where I got an idea and just asked a question. Right. So we don't script. Don't worry about that. Everything is organic. So if you have any questions at all, send them through and we will answer them right off the
That's
top.
right. Yes,
Let's go.
sir. All right. So quick shout out. I see we have Coach B. So Coach B, shout out to you. Good morning from NYC. We have Jenny
Morning. Good
Kaniza.
morning.
Jenny, shout out to you in the Philippines. I think we had Charmaine somewhere on here. Let's see. Yeah, Charmaine Harrison.
Good morning.
Shout
Good
out to
morning.
you. Guys, if you are just tuning in, put some flames in the chat. We're about to get into a few questions, right? Very, very interesting questions this morning. Um, let's go to the first one. So the first one is from Rose from Philadelphia, right? So Rose says, "Hey Sean, good morning. My question is, how did you get started with speaking, and what are your projections for the industry coming 2022?"
Good question. I got started with speaking. I'm gonna tell you a story, right? I got started with speaking, getting in trouble in school. Yeah, I got started with speaking, being told to be quiet in school, and galvanizing troops. I guess inspiring the people. I'm a high knight, right? So I'm always like I always have something to say. Very rarely will you find me with the outside of comfortability when it comes to speaking. Very rarely am I at a lack of words. But that's where I started. I just spoke and spoke and spoke. I remember in the 6th grade, I went to City College in New York and I gave a presentation called What is Love? Right? So I gave a presentation in front of a crowd called What is Love? Now watch this. Before then, I could have been on stage speaking at a spelling bee. Watch this. I was in a school and I just came to New York, back to New York, and I was more quiet. I was more reserved because it was new to me. I'd been there before, but I hadn't been there for a long time. So I was a little bit, I guess you would say, preoccupied with what will people think of me, right? Self-consciousness. Like I was very self-conscious. My self-esteem wasn't like through the roof. So my comfortability in my skin wasn't through the roof. And I was in a school and we had a spelling bee. And because of my lack of tenacity at the time and super high levels of self-esteem, I did not throw my hat in. I didn't throw my hat into the foray and I let people take over and kind of do what they did. And my school lost, and they lost on such a simple word. It was unbelievable. It was actually griddle. GRIDDLE. And the young lady said GRITTLE, right? And then the whole thing was won on the word encyclopedia. I knew this word super long ago. I'm just sitting in the back and I'm saying the words, spelling them out easily. And we lost. And the championship was taken so easily. So at that point, I vowed never to silence myself. I'm highly competitive. So, and I vowed at that moment, I felt like I let everybody down. I felt like I let everybody down. I could have been a champion in New York spelling bee at a very young age, but I didn't feel comfortable speaking. So don't silence yourself. Don't silence yourself, because there's a championship waiting for you when you're comfortable in your skin and you're willing to open your mouth. That's how I started. After that, it was just presentation and conference after conference speaking since I was so young, right? I did the conference, I did the What is Love poem in the same year. So I was in the 6th grade. So that fast, I made a decision and then began speaking. That's how I started. Never stopped, as you can tell. The question was, after that, what do I foresee in the industry? So I'm not going to say COVID is over. What I'm going to say is that limitations and COVID precautions have been put into place. So there's a lot more people traveling and there's a lot more opportunities opening up. There's a lot more opportunities opening up for in-person events. So those of you who got laid off during COVID, or those of you who were thinking about speaking before COVID and then COVID happened and you didn't follow through with it, you're at one of those priceless, precious intersections in time where opportunity meets preparedness. So if you're prepared, 2022 is presenting you with a huge opportunity to write your own ticket, set your own prices, and make your mark on the world with speaking. That's what's happening in the industry.
That's super powerful. Couple things stuck out to me based on what you said. Shaan Rais writing love poetry, guys.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, hold on, what? Oh boy, that's something else. But definitely, guys, the speaking space, that is definitely coming up. And if you don't know, we will be doing Speaking Like a Leader in February 2022. Just in case you don't know. So if you don't know, now you know, right? If you don't know, now you know. If you want to learn more about that, how to leverage your skill to close. Now, if you're a closer, I know we have many closers in the chat. If you're a closer, you close one-to-one. We're gonna teach you how to close one-to-many. How to close one-to-many. That is what Speaking Like a Leader is about. I believe we're gonna take a quick break in a few seconds. But anything you want to let the people know, Shaan, before we sort of go to the break?
I'll just emphasize what I said. Don't be uncomfortable in your skin. You have a unique ability, and someone out there is your ideal client. But if you don't speak, they'll never know. So let me break it down like this real quick. 1, 2, 3. If you can't speak, you can't eat.
On that note, I think we'll go to a break.
How do you close? How do you really get closure? How do you lock someone in? How do you get the pen to take place? How do you get the signature to take place? And for the pen to work, your mind has to work. When I say your mind has to work, your belief set has to work. Your mindset has to work. You have to know that it's possible. And when I say that it's possible, that you are possible, you have to believe and know within your core being that you are possible, that all the things that you want are possible, that all the things that you see in your mind's eye are possible. The pen just locks them in. The close, when someone says yes, when someone agrees, that's just confirmation. But for confirmation to take place, there first has to be contextual thought, not just abstract thought. It's abstract when you say, I want to make more money. That's abstract. Contextual is a specific number, a specific amount. The pen makes it concrete. The pen is what makes it concrete and writes it into existence. So you don't want to be so abstract. You want to come back to reality. Come back to reality. Go from conceptual to contextual.
All right, guys, welcome back. Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, welcome to Breakfast with the Brand. I am your co-host, and with me,
It's okay. You can be the host. I'll be the coach. It's fine. It's fine. I'm done. I'm not even trying to take that.
just pulling your legs, man. Just pulling your legs. Just pulling your legs, guys. But seriously, guys, shout out to you. I see a lot of new people coming in. I see we have Deborah. Deborah, good morning. Alan, good morning.
Morning,
Kimberly,
morning.
Kim, Bobby, Mal, shout out to you. Good morning. All right, guys. So,
I just want to say
Mr. B,
one
I think
thing.
Bobby has a great question.
Just 1 second. We'll get
Yes,
just
sir.
1 second. I see Deborah doing a lot of speaking now, right?
Oh,
And
nice.
that's going to change your business. I guarantee that's going to change your business. I'm sure that you're getting a lot of responses and having some serious conversations that you never had before when you just simply post. So congratulations to you. You know, when you want to, everybody, right? You want to find your voice. When you find your voice, you'll find your confidence. People say, well, I'm not confident, so I don't speak. When you speak, you get more confident. That's how it works. And sometimes we try to put the chicken before the egg or the egg before the chicken and wonder which one came first, right? First, you do the action, and then you build the habit.
Yes, sir. So shout out to you, Deborah. Shout out to Deborah. Let's see. I think Mr. B, can you pull up Bobby's question, please? I think Bobby has a great question that we wanna address. Let's see if
Bobby
we
got
bring
good
that up.
questions. He always got good questions.
Yes, he does. So
Uh-huh.
I'll go ahead and read this, right? So Bobby says, "What is the most memorable speech you've ever given, Coach Shan, and was it written?" Interesting, right? Why does or did it matter to you so much? It's a very good question.
It was. It is the most memorable speech I've ever given. There was a graduating class. I can remember when I graduated as a counselor. So this is a long time ago. I graduated as a counselor in a phenomenal school called the Resource Training Center. And that was the first time that I really it was emotional because I was still in my associates and I had a vision. I had a vision for what I wanted to do and who I wanted to become. And my children were there. I don't know how much you know about my story, but my story is, kid from Harlem who didn't make all the right decisions. So this was one of the first right decisions that I had made, and my children were there. And I spoke from my heart, right? I spoke from my heart. And I'm still close with a lot of the people that went through that process at that time. But it completely transformed the way my children saw me because they had never seen their father emotional. vulnerable, trying to do something different. It inspired them, and they were emotional. So that's the most memorable speech that I've ever given, Bobby. And no, it wasn't written. And it matters to me so much because not only were theirs were not the only eyes that were not dry, right? There were other people who were going through the same situation. So it was a rolling curriculum. So there were some people who had just came in that day. And there were some people who had only been there for a week and some people who had only been there for a month. And everybody was there to change their lives and to have a massive impact on the world. And I realized at that moment, as I looked around the room and I saw the wet faces, I really realized that your words have the power to transform lives. Your words have the power to transform lives. Everyone should aspire to inspire, right? Everyone should aspire to inspire as a speaker. Not only do your words motivate, but your words, it really hit me that my words have the power to transform lives. So not only if you don't eat, if you don't speak, you don't eat, but if you don't speak, you're incomplete. There's something that was put in your heart to do, right? There's something that you aspire to. If you're here, there's something that you have to do. There's something that, when I say there's something that you have to do, I don't mean there's something that you have on your agenda to do. There's something that you absolutely must do. That's why I don't believe that we're here just to be here, eat, go through the 7 life processes and then leave. I think you have a purpose here. And if you don't communicate that purpose, then it dies with you. Communication is the most efficient tool that we've been given to design our lives. We build with instruments, right? We implement and we implement our thoughts through the instruments that we use to create homes. Well, the instrument of the tongue was given so that you could impact the world with your thoughts and build and create not only your reality, but have an impact on the designs and the structures of other people. It was me listening to people's words that made me say, wow, maybe I can go back to school. It was the words of other people that made me say, wow, maybe I can change my life. Maybe I can have a successful marriage. Maybe I can be a good father after making all of the wrong decisions, coming from the wrong ecology. Maybe I can turn this thing around. And the reason why I said to myself, maybe I can turn this around was because of other phenomenal speakers who communicated their story. You got to see it before you can believe it, guys. There was a time when I never saw it, so I didn't believe it. I was like, you born poor, you're going to die poor. You born uneducated, your parents ain't go to college. Why would you ever try? This is your situation. Deal with it. You look around, it is what it is. You make the most with what you have, and you don't aspire to anything greater. It was me hearing the stories of other people who had aspired and accomplished things that were greater, things that were completely outside of my realm of reality, that made me say, maybe I can do some things that I can't see. But I heard it. When I heard it, I saw it. Words create mental pictures. Words create mental pictures. And if someone, which I did, I was one of those people who clung to the mental image that came from the words. I clung to the mental image, and then I aspired to become one of those success stories outside of where I was born, outside of where I grew up. And I listened more and more and more, and success leaves clues. So don't ever close your mouth for anybody. Don't let this world shut you down or shut you up. If you weren't born to speak, you wouldn't have a mouth. That's why it's so important for me, Bobby. It changed my life. It absolutely transformed my life. It transformed my children's lives. And it'll transform yours too.
No, very powerful. Very, very powerful. And I definitely second that. I mean, growing up, I listened to a lot of speeches myself. Growing up, a lot of speakers, very famous speakers. And I definitely feel that, Sham, because it's true, like words shape our world. So as a speaker, when you say something, you bring something into somebody's awareness, it changes their world, right? So what you said there is super, super powerful. Super powerful. So thank you so much for that.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Thank Bobby for the question.
yeah, thank you, Bobby. Yes, thank you so much, Bobby.
Making me
That
so
was a
passionate
good
this
question.
morning.
That's right. That
Bobby
was
is
a
Bobby
really
is
good
limited
one.
to one question per episode. That's it.
Oh man, you know that's not gonna happen.
I'm just playing. Thank you, sir. I greatly appreciate that question.
Yes, yes. All right. So I have another question. So Alan Victor asks, "Is this really live, Shan? Is this really live? I don't know.
Is it really
Is
live?
it really
Yeah,
live? Yeah, is it
yeah.
live?
Look on
I also
Facebook. Is it really
so
live or is it really real? Yeah, it's really real. Like we really here, and I really don't script. We are true, authentic people, and it's natural. It's natural. You know, you want to be authentic. We teach branding, and we teach personal branding, and you can't really brand something that you're not. So be authentic. I learned that real early, real early. When you watch this, I tried to script at one time. Now, if everybody like, for real, you don't script. Yeah, I tried to script at one time. And what had happened was, dun, 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 of course, it was too perfect to be true. It was too perfect to be true. Because it was scripted, it sounded scripted. It sounded stiff. It sounded monolithic. It sounded unauthentic. Imagine somebody having a speech. Just give you an example. Imagine somebody having a speech 9:10. 9:10. They're preparing a speech. We all know 9/11. Let's say on 9:10, they're preparing a speech to give on 9/11. And the show must go on. What do you do now? What happened to your script now? Trash. Gone. Out the window. And if you don't know how to speak authentically, you lost. You just lost. Same thing. Same thing with coronavirus. Let's say you're preparing a speech before everything gets real. And the show must go on and you still have to speak. What are you going to say? The best way to be prepared for any event is to be authentic and be real, be genuine. People will love you for genuineness. It's okay to make a mistake. It's okay to pause while you're speaking. Connect with the crowd. You connect with the crowd by being authentic and being real and being genuine and being authentic, being human.
yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Coach B has a question, right? I'm gonna
Uh-oh.
Mr. B, can you pull that up? Let me
Let's
just see
see.
what that is. Right. I think I can read it from here. So she says, I noticed that you changed your delivery system from PowerPoint presentations to Q&A. How do you know when to change your method of delivery system and or engagement? So I'm guessing she's talking about the previous with the brands, right? Where
Yeah.
so for those of you who don't know, Shan, in fact, tell them about the previous breakfast with the brand. I'll let you do that.
The previous
Tell
breakfast
them
with
about
the
it.
brand. Well, I'm not sure exactly what you were
Yeah.
gonna say, but the previous breakfast with the brand was a it was a PowerPoint at times, but it was also a Zoom meeting where everybody was able to come in. And the situation sometimes, it's early in the morning. It's early in the morning. Everybody wasn't 100% ready. They would still clock in. Sometimes people was on mute, off mute. Sometimes things would happen in their background that they didn't want seen. And it was time for us to do more of a professional, polished, and on point and on purpose presentation, right? So what I wanted to give people was I wanted to give people the ability to ask questions. while I gave them the experience and the education, the benefit of my experience and education. And it was not the most technologically proficient presentation. So as you grow, you evolve. As you grow, you evolve. As you build your brand, you develop. If you don't change, that's the most scary thing in the world. Think of a caterpillar stuck in a cocoon, trying to develop. If it doesn't continue to change, it dies. Growth and change is the only constant in life. So what I did was I took the pulse of the people, and I also studied my results. Study your results, study your engagement, and always think around the corner, Coach B. And everybody else, think around the corner. Don't just take what's on their plate or in front of you at this moment, but think what's next. I like to pride myself as a visionary, which means I take a lot of thinking time. This is the difference between an entrepreneur and a CEO. Write this down. This is one of the distinctive differences between an entrepreneur and a CEO. As an entrepreneur, you're going to stay busy, hitting it, boom, 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 everywhere, all the time, hustling hard, getting it, grinding. That's the work ethic of an entrepreneur. A CEO needs thinking time. They are anticipatory. They anticipate the next move. They read Wall Street. They read The Economist. They read the coming trends. They read what's next. They also read the world around them. They read societal situations and technological innovations and what's coming down the block and around the corner. You cannot create a sustainable, successful business as only being an entrepreneur. You have to adapt and adopt some CEO qualities. We call it entrepreneur skill set with a CEO mindset. So if you've never heard the term, you may not have. I'm going to coin it right now. You can't take it because it's in trademark right now. And it's the CEO-preneur. The CEO-preneur. So that's one example of why things have changed. Things have changed because I am becoming more of a CEO. So the presentations have to be more polished. The programs that we put together have to be more professional, and we have to think down the block and around the corner. And I would advise everyone on this call to think about what's next. Handle what is, but always think about and prepare for what's next, because you just might get lucky and be the first.
That is so true. That is so true, guys. And if you're just tuning in, make sure to put some flames in the chat and let us know where you're listening in from. Right. Quick shout out to Tara Luke. All right. Tara's in the building. I see Alicia. Yes, I see Alicia in the building. Guys, by the way, if you have any questions for Shaan or myself, you could just put it in the chat. See my wisdom. So, Mr. B, can we pull up Alicia's? There you go. So, it has been challenging to see my vision manifest, but I do not give up. This is powerful. Right. So, Alicia says this is powerful. Thank you so much for your support, Alicia. We appreciate you coming out every Saturday to be with us. Shaan, what you just spoke about, yeah, of
Let me
course.
say something about what Alicia said.
Yes.
Yesterday on the call, the gentleman you see across the screen from me pulled a dirty trick. he pulled a dirty trick. He didn't pull a dirty trick though. Honestly, what he did was he fulfilled prophecy, right? I learned a lot when I was younger, trying to help people and wanting to help people and having my heart full of the desire to assist people in the ways that I had been assisted in my youth, right? So I was a counselor and I constantly went in different organizations to impact change on a population that had been underserved and marginalized. And there were always gaps. There were always gaps and there were inconsistencies. I love the work that everyone does. I love the work that everyone does, but there were gaps and there were inconsistencies, and there was a lot of them. So I determined at that time to set about creating my own space where we would be able to do that. So many of you may have a vision in your heart. You may be in an industry where you see gaps. You may want to revolutionize an industry. You may want to impact change on an industry because you're trying your hardest. You see your coworkers trying your hardest. You see your patients or your clients needing your help, and you're still unable to serve them to the highest possible degree. That was my frustration. And I set it in my heart, in my mind, in my soul, in my purpose. I wrote it on paper. You see, your passion has to grip you. So I probably cried sometimes. If you haven't cried, let me say this first. If you haven't cried about your business, you're not in business yet. Just let that sit. If you have not cried about your business, you're not in business yet. Your business is supposed to be passionate. It's a spiritual game. So anyway, this was my spiritual aspiration to instill confidence and change and help people to become more of what I knew they were and what they could be. I don't see people as who they are or who they were. I think of who they can be. And it was my goal to create a space that was optimally put together for that to happen. And yesterday morning on a team meeting, Mr. Frederick shared his screen and showed me one of the coaches that we have certified coaching one of the clients that had gotten one of our programs. We have a system. It was set up phenomenally, and the young woman was doing such a good job. Such a good job. I was just like, this is amazing. I don't get emotional, but sometimes things will impact you in ways when you see your vision come to manifestation. It took 10 years, Alicia, everybody tuning in, it took 10 years for me to see that to fruition, for me to see that. What I saw yesterday morning, it took 10 years for it to go from an idea to a reality. But we did it. We did it. My team did it. They did it. They took the vision out of my head and out of my heart and walked it out and put it into manifestation, right? So if you're in a place where you need personal development, if you're in a place where you need life coaching, we have a battery. That means a lot. A battery of phenomenal life coaches that will impact those areas that you don't think about, that will impact those things that you've been through that you don't know you're holding on to, that's stopping you from being successful. Everybody wants to be in business. Everybody wants the professional development, the organizational development, and sometimes we lose the meaning or the purpose or the need for personal development. Before I could develop a business, I had to develop me. Before you develop your business, you're going to have to develop you. Some personal development has to take place. You cannot have the two without the one. And your two will be based on the one, the success of and the significance of the one. You got to do some work, right? So I want to say two things with this. If you're not getting life coaching, you need to, as you get business coaching. And I'm going to say this, never abandon ship in the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, or however long it takes you to get it. No matter how many years it takes, because I could have quit on the 9th year and I'd have never seen what I saw yesterday. And after 9 years, it's easy to say, I've been doing this for a long time. I still don't see like I don't see and you might look in your bank account. Don't look in your bank account for results. Don't look in your bank account for results. Don't look in your bank account for what's happening under the soil, under the surface. Don't look in your bank account for that. Don't look in your client list at all the people that left and all that, the people that don't get you. Don't look there. Don't look in failure for success. Don't look in aspirations for success. Keep your eyes on the goal and keep doing your best every single day and inspire other people to do the same. And hopefully, one day you'll see what I saw yesterday, because it really brought a light to my heart to see people's lives transform. It really, really touched my soul, and it will touch yours when you see your vision come to fruition. I guarantee it will. I guarantee it will. If it's a noble cause and you just don't stop.
That is super powerful. Sean, if I had a mic, I'll drop it. If I had a mic, if I had a mic, I would drop it, right?
We trying to help the people. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
we are. We are.
I'm
You
trying
know,
to help.
yeah, we really are. I see a couple let's grows in the chat. Guys, if you absolutely love what Sean just said, put a let's grow and put some flames in the chat. Come on, put a let's grow and also put some flames in the chat. If you feel what Sean just said, because that is absolutely true. Even me, when I coach, I make sure to tap into the life part of it, because like it's a no brainer. Like if you don't have your life together, then there's no way your business is gonna come together. That just
It
doesn't
won't.
happen.
It won't be
That just doesn't happen.
sustainable.
Yeah.
It won't be sustainable. You might get some success. So if you're going up and down in your business like an EKG machine, that's an indication that there's some personal work that has to take place. If you're hitting some licks, like if you're getting there in business, you got a few far and in between hits, and then you have some bad times, or your money goes down and your impact goes down and your client list goes up and down and up and down and up and down, your closing rate up and down, up and down. It's an indication that you're live. Yes, an EKG machine says that you're live, but it also says that you got some real serious things to work on, because you can't start and stop. You can't start and stop. Your success in business, for it to be sustainable, has to be on an incline. Even if it goes up and down, it still has to be on the incline.
Yes, sir. That is so true, and I know from experience. Like guys, listen. Sometimes you just can't look in the bank account. You're better
No,
off just not looking at
stay
it.
away
Like,
from it. Get
that's
out of
right.
your
Stay
bank
away from
account.
that.
Get
Like
out of your bank account.
it's a phenomenal. It's a sunny day. It's a phenomenal day. Like come on. Like you just don't look for that, right? But guys, I also want to say, if you are interested, in getting life coaching from this brand, if you are interested in taking your business to another level, if you are interested in tapping into the power of your voice and tapping into your confidence and becoming the person that you already know you are,
Mm.
you already know you are. Everybody here on this call, on the YouTube, on the Facebook, everybody here knows that they are somebody and that they are something, and they could achieve some kind of impact, and they have to. I don't know about you, but I have some things inside me that I feel like I have to do. Just like it's almost like a pull, right, Sean? Like you feel like you
Yeah.
have to do. Guys, if you feel that way, then reach out to the brand. You can send an email to support@shaanrais.com, and my team is there to assist you. Um, Definitely, for all of you in the chat, we're gonna go to a quick break. But for all of you, put in your flames, put in your let's grow in the chat. I want to send a quick shout out to you. We definitely see you. We appreciate you, and we love you being here with us every single Saturday morning. Thank you very much.
Yes, yes, yes. Listen, guys, this is the way. If you are not attending to your personal development, there's only but so far you can go in professional development. And business is good. Business is good. Business is real good. But if your life isn't right, then business is terrible. Business is terrible. And we do business to shore up and solidify our personal lives. The people that I work with say that I want to make more money so that I can spend more time with my family, right? They say, I want to have more freedom. I want to be able to do what I want when I want. It's a sense of freedom. It's a sense of freedom to address that purpose. And that's where the personal development comes in, because realistically, your business success, guys, will not make you any better of a person. Let me say that one more time. Your business success will not make you any more better as a person, but your personal success will make you 10 times better as a businessman or a businesswoman. Your personal success will make you 1,000,000 times better as an entrepreneur. You cannot forsake one for the other. It's absolutely impossible. And it's absolutely imperative that you don't try to go so hard on the money. If you're trying to go so hard on the money and you've been doing that for a while and you haven't seen the results that you want, it's probably because there's some personal underlying things that need to be ironed out, right? And we know this. It's very important that we lead to business development and professional development through the vein of personal development. Personal development will get you situated and get you right for business development and for organizational development. There's some inner work. There's some things that have to be addressed for us as a people before we can really have the kind of success that we want and desire. Think about any success story that you know. Any success story that you know. Read some biographies. Read some stories about leaders. And if they're honest, if they're transparent, if they're genuine, if they're a leader worthy of being followed, you'll see the gaps and the inconsistencies that they had to address and the gaps that they had to close before they could become the leader that was worthy of being followed. All right, guys, listen. I just wanted to take a little bit more time to speak to that component, right? Speak to the life coaching component. I started as a life coach and evolved into the business and the branding and the organizational and the professional speaking and all of the things that you may see or my name may be associated with, right? But the foundation of all of that was the life coaching, and the foundation of all of that was the personal development. So when people come through our brand, you get more than just business development. You get the business development, the organizational development, the business coaching to become whatever it is that you want to become in business, but it's predicated on a foundation of personal development, right? It's not from a book, it's not scripted. It's authentic, it's genuine, and it's evidence-based, as you see the hard-to-earn papers above that logo back there, right? There's a lot of education and a lot of evidence-based, peer-reviewed article stuff that goes with it. We know what we're doing, and we know how much. Okay, so let me say this. If you've ever been through a course that made all the sense in the world, but you never got success after that, it's the personal development. If you've ever had a coach that made sense, everything they said made sense, but you were unable to follow through, it's personal development. If you know what you need to do right now, if you know in your heart of hearts, in your mind of minds, this is what you need to do it like this, but there's a gap between your acknowledgement and your execution. It's personal development. Personal development is like the glue. If you're successful in your business, but your marriage is failing. If you're successful in your business, or you're trying to become successful in your business, but you know you don't spend as much time with the children as you should, it's personal development. If you get a call from the school that tells you your son or your daughter is someone other than who you thought they were, there's some things that you need to attend to, right? And with our upbringing, with our ecology, our circumstances growing up, and our situational circumstances growing up, there's some gaps. There's some things that need to be addressed. If you've gone through trauma, if you've seen some things happen in your life that you had no business seeing, or you saw them way too early in life, or you were exposed to things way too early in your life. That was my situation, right? I saw some things in my neighborhood, in my zip code, that I should have never seen. Of all manner of things, right? And it wasn't easy. It was super impactful, super traumatizing. You know, growing up in a single parent home is not the easiest thing in the world. Believing that your parents, or seeing that your parents, or having it confirmed that your parents don't care as much as they should, or didn't prepare as much as they should have, could have, or would have, had the situations been absolutely phenomenal, or if you're trying to do better than your parents did. Because we always talk about, I said in my book that we don't get to choose who our parents were, but we get to choose, listen to this, we don't get to choose who our parents were. That's beyond our sphere or locus of control. But what we do get to control, what we have the responsibility of controlling, is who our children's parents are. Think about that. You're born into this world. The world might be upside down. Your circumstances might be upside down. Economics might be upside down. The house might be upside down. Roaches, rats. I mean, I've seen it all. People don't believe it. I've had people say, well, Shaan, you don't know what it's like to grow up over here. And I'm just laughing at them like, wow, I must be doing a really good job, huh? I must be doing a really good job. But I want you to understand that we share similar circumstances. If you're here, it's because there's a reason. You resonate, and there's a reason why. I speak your language, and there's a reason why. I've been there, seen it. And the way I made it out, or the way I got over here on this side, is personal development. I was able to create the business because of personal development. I was able to focus long enough to get the schoolwork done because of personal development. I'm able to speak about a wife and be married in double digits because of personal development. We're able to fly around speaking because of personal development. We were prepared and able to pivot during COVID because of personal development. We're able to continue to grow this community and serve on all the different levels that we serve. Now, of course, there's some organizational development and there's some business development there, but the foundation, the bedrock, is personal development. Why do you think they don't say professional and personal development? They say personal and professional development. Your success lies in your ability to heal. I like what Deb said. Your ability to be successful, and this is true, relies on your ability to heal, to overcome. to go to the next level. You can't go to the next level until you complete this level. Think of a video game. You got to fight those demons. You got to beat that warrior. You got to beat that champion, the champion of that space, to go to the next level. You can't go to the next level. You might get a peak. You might put in a cheat code, but every time you get kicked back to the bottom because you can't. Okay, so let me say this. You don't want your talent, or your intelligence to take you where your character can't sustain you. You don't want your talent or your intelligence, because we smart. We real smart. Sometimes we so smart, we not as smart as we think we are. We so smart that we able to put a lot of plastique on it, make it look good, polish it up real nice, talk a lot of nice words and sound smart, sound intelligent, and do business. But deep down, you know you hurting. Deep down, you know you crushed. Deep down, you know you're not the person you say you are. Deep down, it's not integral. Deep down, it's not correlational. There's some personal gaps. You love the business, but your family's hurting. You love the business, but you got to keep chasing money because the money that you get, you don't know how it just flows through your fingers. Trust me, I've been there. We've as a business, we've experienced everything that you're experiencing. But on a personal level, there's some things that I've experienced, like healing, like addressing the trauma, like dealing with the issue, like confronting the challenge, and taking that personal time to make that balance, to take that askew and make it balanced. I've worked on it for years so that I could present to you the business development and all the good stuff. But I have to remind you that there's some inner work. Everybody wants external results. And when you focus on external results, you kind of eschew the internal work, right? Band-aids. You can't patch up what needs to be done over. You can't patch up what needs to be done over. So some people just say, well, I'm going to compartmentalize that and I'm not going to address that. I'm going to just leave that alone. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. We always say I'm good when inside we know we're not. We always say I'm good. That's something that comes from our vocabulary. We say I'm good. I'm good. I'm good when we know we're not. You can't develop financially if you don't have discipline. You can't have discipline if you're anxious. You can't have peace. No matter how much money you make, no matter how much impact you're having on the world, no matter how much your business is growing, look at Robin Williams, Michael Jackson, Prince, Whitney Houston. Massive professional success, massive business success, worldwide acclaim. But there were some things in those phenomenal people's closets that they had never developed. They had never addressed and overcame. So as successful as they became, as far as they went in the world, and as much as we loved them and knew them, these old unaddressed situations crippled them and ultimately led to their early demise. And as one who knows what that looks like, has dealt with people professionally, clinically, I'm not talking from personal and professional, just development and experience. I'm talking about clinically. I have professionally dealt with this. So this comes from a personal, a professional, an organizational and business, as well as an educational perspective and experiential. I know what this looks like. And if you're finding that your business is not doing what it's supposed to do, or you're finding that you're not really getting the success that you should be, or you're finding that you're getting success, but it keeps slipping through your fingers, and you're trying to get a hold on it, and you're trying to get a hold on yourself at the same time, that's a personal development gap. And I can help you with branding. I can help you with coaching. I can help you with closing. I can help you with sales. I can help you with speaking. I can help you with marketing. I can help you with creating your own course. I can help you with all of that. But the deepest thing that I would love to help you with is becoming a whole person. Not just focusing on business so much because you don't want to address youth. Not just trying to get money because you say money will help you solve the communication gap between you and your children because your father wasn't there and you don't know how to be one. Or some things happened in your life and you don't know how to make peace with it, so you want to pay it. You can't pay for peace, guys. You can't pay for peace. But you can learn. You can learn, and you can heal, and you can resolve. So I hope this resonates with you this morning. I hope that you see some opportunities this morning. I hope you see what we're trying to do here, full rounded, dealing with people in the whole person perspective and not just focused on money. I always said that we put meaningfulness over the money. We put value over the valuation. We put integrity over the income. And at the very least, and at the very most, we put people over profit. We value you. We value you as a person. And for the price of 2 cups of coffee a day, you can address some situations that you're trying to run from, but you'll never get away from. And you can start your business and start the rest of your life on an even keel with a foundation that is sure, a solid foundation, built on healing, built on addressing, built on confronting the conflict and getting over it so you can get to the business at hand. I believe that everybody was born for a purpose. I believe that everybody has much value to add. And this is the best thing, right? And I'm going to leave it on this. This is the best thing. What you've been through, what you've been through can either be what cripples you or what compels you. What you've been through, what you've experienced, the same things that you're running from, you don't understand. Like, that's your fuel. That turns into your passion. It can give you the power to proceed, or it can block you from ever achieving. So don't let that which you've been through make you sour. Let that which you've been through become your power. Have a phenomenal day, rest of the week, and I'll see you on the next Breakfast with the Brand. Let's grow.